POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, a form of dysautonomia, a dysregulation of the autonomic nervous system that mostly affects adolescent and teenage girls, throwing off everything that should be happening automatically in their bodies. Trademark symptoms include fatigue, blood vessels in the legs not constricting upon standing, essentially letting blood succumb to gravity instead of pumping to the head and the heart. Leads to dizziness and possible fainting whenever one stands up. Most of the time, there's an underlying cause. Lyme disease, a tick-transmitted disease whose symptoms can range from unnoticeable to unmanageable, oftentimes paired with many co-infections and parasites, can disguise itself as practically every disorder known, not easily diagnosable. My main symptom was fatigue. I don't mean exhaustion or sleepiness. I mean I woke up on Valentine's Day of 7th grade too tired to move my legs or walk to the bathroom on my own. My second biggest symptom was nearly passing out every time I stood up. My vision would first go black, and then swirling colors, like if you rub your eyes for too long. The ringing would hit my ears as my heart pounded in my chest. My eyes ached as my vision slowly came back. Luckily, I never passed out, but my doctors say I should have. The Lyme had been hiding for almost 2 years at that point, and would remain hidden for another 2. In the end, I was sick for a total of 4 years and 7 months. For the first 1 year and 10 months, doctors said the only thing wrong with me was I was crazy. I hardly remember 6th grade, partly because of the PTSD and partly because of the cocktail of meds they gave me. March of 2011 rolled around. I had already been stuck in bed for a month. We went to a diagnostic specialist an hour away and heard the word dysautonomia for the first time. I did a little dance on the exam table when the doctor left the room. Told ya I wasn't crazy, I teased my parents. The excitement faded when my treatment for the next 1 year and 5 months remained as salt pills, water, and hopefully you'll grow out of it. In that 1 year and 5 months, my outings included using a wheelchair to go to the mall with my mom. It was fun until my face paled and my lips turned blue. It wasn't enough to be sitting down. I needed to elevate my feet in order to get the blood moving back to my head. We would rush out of the mall. We also went to concerts, hoping that I would be okay sitting up for so long, taking the risk anyway so that I would decorate my wheelchair and get out of the house a little bit. Every outing made me feel sicker for at least 1 or 2 weeks, but it was worth it. The Lyme disease diagnosis came in August of 2012, right before I was supposed to start high school. I spent 7 months in treatment with a combination of high-dose oral antibiotics, IV antibiotics, and holistic medicine. After my tests started to come back clear of infections and parasites, I spent 9 months repairing my body and mind through acupuncture and physical therapy. In total, 2 years and 10 months of my life were spent bedridden. No one really visited or seemed to care, so I just kept to myself in my bedroom, watching Grey's Anatomy, waiting for the bedside tutors and therapists to come around and keep my mind moving while my body stayed stuck. Here are a few tips for if you ever find yourself bedridden and severely debilitated during prime adolescent years. Number 1, watch every TV show ever. This is your only chance. I mean, how many people get to drop everything and sit in bed for nearly 3 years? Use it to your advantage. Number 2, learn how to play guitar and piano. Future you will thank you for using that seemingly never-ending time to develop a useful skill that you can brag about later. Number 3, going back to TV shows for a second, I just want to clarify how important this part is. You're going to find yourself living vicariously through the characters, or using them to distract you from the fact that you haven't stepped outside in over 3 weeks. Either way, they'll be there for you, and keep you company when the world forgets you exist. Number 4, when you go back to school, back to the stress of deadlines and kids saying, "I thought you moved away," you're going to find yourself missing the isolated life you built for yourself in the 4 walls of your room. Number 5, record crappy videos on your desktop computer. You can use them later on to map out the timeline of events after everything blends together in your mind. You can use them to see the gradual or drastic changes you made to your room in the haste of needing a change of scenery. Or you can just use them to remind yourself that you were a kid. You were a kid who loved to sing and whose brother taught you how to play guitar right before your body shut down, almost as if he could predict how you would need a variety of coping mechanisms to choose from soon. You were a kid who tried to convince the doctors to take a closer look when you knew something was wrong, and in the end believed them when they called you crazy. You were a kid whose body couldn't keep up. My body has become a home for parasites and disease. It felt exactly how it sounds, foreign organisms taking over my body, reproducing every month and damaging more and more of me. My bedroom has become a home for Greek Orthodox icons and holy oil. No relative could ever understand what was making me sick, but they could bring back sand from Bethlehem and decorate my bed frame with holy oil-filled lockets. I don't think I believe in any of it, but I wouldn't dare move them, just in case. My house has become a home for cracked kitchen tiles. With every step comes a snap, and I can't tell if it's the house or my knees. I'm still standing this time. I guess it was the house. My kitchen has become a home for fragile plants in the wintertime. The olive tree that my grandfather smuggled in from Greece over a decade ago grew its first olive this year. We must protect it, my dad says and admires it from the kitchen table. I don't think the olive will ever ripen. I am the plants in the kitchen, whose bodies could never adjust to the changing seasons. I am healthy, but I keep the icons and lockets close, more so out of gratefulness than desperation. I am healthy, but I panic at the dizziness that comes with standing up too fast. I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy.